Hello, boys and girls. This is your old friend, the Dreamfinder, here to set off on another grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom.
The Disneyland Limited, now leaving for a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom. All passengers board.
Star Tours announces the boarding of the Endor Express. All passengers, please prepare for immediate boarding.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. To those guests who've just joined us, welcome. For those of you standing, please hold on to the handrails throughout our journey and stay clear of the doors.
Please keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the train and remain seated at all times. Now then, hang on to them hats and glasses, because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
I am Sam the American Eagle, and I am proud to introduce the Grand Circle Tour podcast, a celebration of Disney parks, but mostly the American ones. I really like these guys.
Welcome to the Grand Circle Tour podcast. I'm Caroline. I am your host tonight, and I'm so excited to be here. And tonight I am here with George. Hey, George, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm great. I'm so excited to be here. And Dan, I'm with Dan. How are you?
Hey, Caroline. How are you?
Hey, and I think the last time I was on was with George and Dan, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right?
Funny how that works out.
It is funny how that works out.
I think the last couple times.
I know.
Has it really been? Really?
Uh-huh.
I think so.
Yeah, I definitely think so. So tonight we are going to talk about what is your must do when you go to Walt Disney World. And you can have more than one must do, but when you go, what is your definite, I got to do these things? Who wants to start?
Want to go, Dan?
Sure, I'll start. Not all at once, right?
Yeah, not all at once. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, Dan, go.
All right, so I was thinking about it a little bit, and I'll start with I'm going to start with my must-dos of my first day that I get there. How about that? And it doesn't even have to do with the parks, to be honest. It just has to do with me kind of like settling in. But what I must do every single time I get in is first of all, I do a grocery list, and I get my groceries, and I get all settled. But it's more about, especially if I'm in a new hotel that I've never been in, I take that nice walk around the resort. I get my bearings. I figure out, the best way to the, whatever the quick service in that hotel is. I just spend some time really to myself. I kind of like leave the family in the room by themselves. And I like to just get that, like take that big deep breath in, kind of see where I am. And I don't know, it may sound silly. What's that?
So you basically mark your territory without peeing on it.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of. You know what it is? There's nothing worse than coming home like that first day in the parks, maybe take the bus or even if you drive or whatever, and you don't know where the parking lot is if you're driving, or you don't know how to get back to your room from the bus stop when it's dark. So I just like to plan ahead with that stuff. And by the way, I'm a planner. If you've been listening to the show, I'm a planner. So I usually already know this stuff because I've done a lot of research beforehand and I've looked at the maps of the resorts and all that stuff. But I still like to just take it all in when I first get there.
Okay, I have a question, Dan. So where do you generally stay, or do you stay somewhere different when you go?
I bounce around, but my home resort for DVC is Saratoga.
Okay, so you mostly stay with DVC when you're with points when you go?
Yes. Yep. Okay. And as you know, with Saratoga, even though I've been there multiple times, it's such a large resort that even, every time I go, most of the time I'm in a different building at least, or a different even part of the resort.
Right.
So there's some parts of that resort I've been there a bunch of times that I haven't even seen yet. So. Yeah,
that place it's huge. So you talked about groceries. Will you talk about that? So do you go to the grocery store, or are you like?
I get stuff delivered. So I usually use Garden Grocer, and I plan ahead because you get a big discount if you order way in advance. So usually the groceries are waiting for me. So I unpack the groceries. I have to put all my clothes away. I don't know how you guys feel about putting your clothes away, but I need all my clothes in the drawers. I put the suitcase away so I don't feel like I'm on vacation. I feel like I'm at home.
You and I should do a trip together, Dan, because I'm the complete, total opposite.
I would be so angry at you. I love that they're renovating these rooms, that they're making the beds higher so that you can put the luggage under the bed. I love that.
Yes.
Isn't that like the greatest thing?
Yes. So, Dan, how long do you usually go when you go?
I mean, usually a week. I mean, I've taken short trips, but even when I take short trips, even if it's not Disney, no matter where I go, anytime I'm in a hotel, I have to unpack.
Yeah.
I go away for business a lot, and I'm always that first night. I'm always doing all my ironing and just making sure I don't have to do any of that.
You like to have your ducks in a row.
Exactly.
I gotcha.
So.
That's so interesting. It's getting to know you night.
And that has nothing to do with my must-dos in the parks. It's just something silly that I must do every trip.
That's awesome.
So.
That's awesome. Okay, George, what do you want to talk about?
Well, for mine, first of all, Dan, I let you go first so I could finish my donut.
Yeah, I know. If anyone didn't notice him eating on air, like a true professional.
I thought you were eating apples.
Chewing down on a donut. Hey! Speaking of getting to know you, I don't know if you guys even know about this. Do you guys know what I'm deathly allergic to? What food? Like deathly allergic to?
No, I didn't even know you were allergic to food.
Apples.
Get out of town.
Yep, you just said that. Yeah. I'm like, some call me like Snow White. You can't eat an apple. So I'm joking.
Are you making that up?
No, I'm really deathly allergic to apples. The Snow White part I'm making up.
Okay.
Who apparently doesn't know Yzma. Sorry, I had you.
Made up.
So one of my must-dos every time that I go, which is completely ironic because this time it's the first time ever that I did not have one. And I didn't even notice that I haven't had one.
Oh, let me guess.
Until I got back.
Let me guess.
You want to guess?
Dole Whip?
That's what I was going to guess.
Really? Wow, you didn't have a Dole Whip, huh?
I did not have a Dole Whip this trip, but it is a must-do for me every single time that I go, minus this last time. And it's not in any particular order in the beginning of my trip, middle, or end. It's just at some point I have to have one. And usually I can knock back 3 at once, like one after the other.
On the cruise ships, no, I think I said this before and you all corrected me then too, but I'll just say it again. You can correct me again. It's totally fine. On the cruise ships, you can get a Dole Whip with rum.
Really?
Yeah. I have heard that.
Can you get that you can't get that at Disney World, right?
I don't think you can get that at World. I think it's just for the cruise.
Yeah, on the cruise line, you can get a Dole Whip with rum.
Ooh, that's amazing.
I know, it is quite good. I don't even drink rum, but you can put it in Dole Whip and it's quite good. I'm sorry. So George, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you with my.
No, you're fine.
So what happened this trip? Did you just forget, or?
It just must have slipped my mind, and I knew that I was going to get one because I said I want to stop back and get one. Never dawned on me, and then when I came back, and I thought, oh crap, I didn't get a Dole Whip this time. Because as I said, I usually get 3. And then I'm good for the rest of the trip.
You're good. You're good. So if for our passengers, you can use if you're on the dining plan, you can use one of your snack credits for a Dole Whip if you want.
Yes.
So
that's usually what we do when we stay on property.
It used to be kind of a special thing to get Dole Whips. It's not quite as special because they have it more places.
Yeah, I was at Hershey Park and they had them there.
Oh, what?
But it wasn't. They didn't call them Dole Whips, but they were made by what's the company?
Dole.
Oh yeah, Dole. Oh god. It was a Dole stand, and they were Dole Whips. They didn't call them Dole Whips though.
Son of a ding dong. That's just.
I know.
I mean, part of what's appealing about them is their exclusivity, don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just pineapple sherbet. Let's be real.
Yep.
Okay, Dan, back to you. Do you have anything else that you must do when you go to the parks?
So I'll go to my next category that I had listed here, and I'll do restaurants. One thing that I always preach is that I am trying to never go to the same restaurant twice, right? Until I get to every single one. That's like my personal goal.
Ooh, good. I love that.
Yep. Now, it doesn't always work that way, and there are times that I go to some restaurants that I've been to, especially if I'm with friends that haven't been to places. But that's mostly for the sit down. For quick service, I actually have one place. Well, it's two places, but one place which everyone's gonna laugh at me, especially from New York, coming from New York, where we have like the greatest pizza in the world.
Are you going to a pizza place?
I'm going to Pizza Planet all the time, and I don't know why I do, but I always go to Pizza Planet.
Why? Because you like the decorations?
I don't know. I have no clue why I always go there, but we always go there. Just like our
Pizza Planet that is now Pizza Rizzo.
I'm sorry, Pizza Rizzo now. It used to be Pizza Planet. Now it's Pizza Rizzo. But it's the same exact menu, by the way.
But it's because like of the location and not because of the food, right?
It's not because of the food. I do not like the food.
I was gonna say if it was because of the food.
No. It is. I don't know what it is, but it's just something that I always go to. I don't know what's your favorite quick service at Hollywood Studios. Now, of course, I haven't been to Star Wars Land yet, so I don't know about that. But I mean, I don't know where else. Where do you go for lunch at Hollywood Studios?
See, the thing with the quick service anywhere on property, you're pretty much going to get the same thing, whether like it's a burger, a chicken sandwich, nuggets, fries.
Oh, you know what quick service I like? But it's not at Hollywood Studios. It's at Epcot. It's a quick service in Japan, and it's up, and y'all can't see me. It's up, and there's a bridge with some water, and they don't have chicken nuggets there, I don't think, and they don't have like American stuff. They probably do on the kids menu, but whatever the quick service in Japan is, that's my favorite quick service.
And this
is it like Katsura Grill or something?
Yeah. It's that.
I've actually never been there.
Yeah, it's a really lovely atmosphere, and it's quiet, and you can kind of get away. That's my favorite quick service to go to, but I know that's not at the studios. So
the only quick service that I really know of is the one that's on Sunset Boulevard. That's to the left side before you reach Tower. But again, they just have like the traditional, burgers, nuggets.
Wait, right, on the left side, isn't that just like a fruit stand, or is there like an actually sit-down place there?
You can get hamburgers and stuff there.
But and they have like seating?
Like the outdoor tables, with the
outdoors.
Oh yeah, the outdoor. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, George, you're totally right. It seems like everything at Hollywood Studios is the same. Oh, I guess, and I haven't been to Toy Story Land, but it's all the same food, just at different venues. Don't you feel like?
Now, Toy Story Land, I know, has a different type of menu.
Right.
I meant to try that too, but it's like one of those things like I had in my mind that I wanted to do and try, and then it's just you can't do and see it all. So it's like they know how to get you.
They totally know how to get you. Isn't that the truth?
The other quick service, and this is because I like the food, not just because I go there all the time, but it's Columbia Harbor House.
Yeah.
I go there on every single trip. It's a must-do for me.
Yeah, and then if you go upstairs, it's much quieter.
Yeah.
If our passengers could see us, I'm pointing and doing arm gestures from every restaurant you're talking about. Go upstairs in the Columbia Harbor House. It's much quieter.
You can go on the busiest day of the year and probably still get a spot in the upstairs of Columbia.
Yes, you can. And it's a lot less hectic.
Yep.
Yeah.
So those are the two places I must do every time I go, at least for lunch.
Okay, George, what about you?
Well, sticking on the food side, and I know I just did the Dole Whip, but as far as eating goes, again, Dan, I'm almost like the complete polar opposite of you. That when I go to Disney, I have to hit my main restaurants that I love going to. I would love to do a trip with you. We would be the complete odd couple. That would be at Animal Kingdom, Yak and Yetis. I love Yak and Yetis.
Wow.
There's not one thing. I think I've tried. Now, I've done the restaurant before, but taken your cue, Dan, that I've tried almost everything on that menu, and there's not.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Really?
And there's not one thing that I could say that I dislike. And I just found out, speaking of quick service, that actually Mindy told me is that Yak and Yetis has a quick service outside.
Yep.
That I did not know about, that you could actually get some of the food to go.
Yep.
Oh, I thought that was what you were talking about.
No, I never knew. We actually go in for the sit down.
Oh, and I think, now this might not be right, and I probably should Google it before I say it, but I don't think Yak and Yeti is owned by Disney. I think it's owned by somebody else and managed by Disney. Is that wrong? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? You know how all the restaurants aren't Disney restaurants?
Right. I don't know the answer to that, but
I should have Googled it before I said it out loud. Sorry.
Well, you don't really know. You didn't really confirm it.
I didn't confirm. I am not saying this as a fact. I'm just bringing it up as a possibility.
So you're good.
Okay, so is there any thing that doesn't have to do with food that you must do when you go?
I must spend at least 2 nights of my trip, assuming it's a week trip, 2 to 3 nights at Disney Springs. Just walking around, hanging out, and taking in the sights.
Dan,
everyone knows it's my favorite part of Disney.
You don't even need tickets, Dan.
It's my favorite thing. I love it.
And I know we've talked about this before, but let's talk about why you love Disney Springs so much.
Well, I'm a big music guy, so I love that there's just, there could be a guitar player just anywhere singing. Yeah. Or the rolling piano guy walking around, or you could walk into a place like Raglan Road and, listen to some good music, or that you could just hang out and drink a beer basically anywhere and relax. And, I'm a pretty outgoing guy, so I usually make friends at any of the bars that I'm at. Yeah. And I don't know, it's just a cool atmosphere. And like I said, I usually stay at Saratoga, so I just walk home. So
it's convenient, right?
Yep. Walk right over that bridge. And I don't know, that's always the place where I'm a bit, I plan, so I'm running around all day long. I'm always exhausted. And that's when I'm actually can just take a deep breath, relax and realize that I should be having fun at this trip and not just running around like a madman.
And unpacking your suitcase.
Yes, exactly.
That's so great. Okay, George, what about you?
Another thing for me is that I like to go on as many rides and see as many attractions as I possibly can. But there are 2 that almost throws my whole complete day off if I don't. No, I'm sorry, not even just day. It would throw my whole complete trip off if I don't go on them. And a lot of people would probably think that I'm crazy for saying this, but they're both in the Magic Kingdom and they're both in Tomorrowland. And that's the People Mover and Carousel of Progress.
Oh, that's nice. That's sweet.
It just became a tradition of mine that if I don't go to either one of them on a trip, it completely throws my whole schedule off or something.
Aww.
I have a question for you guys. Give me one attraction in each of the 4 parks that you have to do every time you're there.
Okay, well,
so you gave me Magic Kingdom, George.
Right. Yeah. Animal Kingdom, Flights of Passage, hands down. Okay. Can't pass that one up. Epcot.
Oh yeah, Flights of Passage. Love it.
Epcot.
Soarin'. Which is
as of right now,
Flights of Passage without crack.
Yeah. As of right now, I would have to say Soarin'. Yep. That's probably going to change when Ratatouille and Guardians of the Galaxy open for me.
Maybe, right.
And what was it? And Hollywood Studios, Tower of Terror for me.
Yeah, I would agree with you with Soarin'. I'm probably going to say the Safari for Animal Kingdom, though, to be honest. Because that's still...
But wait, have you been on the other one?
I have not. Oh,
that's the reason you're saying the Safari then.
I know. But there's something about the Safari that, why are you going to Animal Kingdom if you're not going to do the Safari?
We're going to do the Safari, but we're going to do the
I would say for Hollywood Studios, probably it has to be Tower of Terror, but for Hollywood Studios. And for Animal Kingdom, it's a toss-up between Haunted Mansion and Pirates.
You mean Magic?
Yeah, Magic Kingdom. Sorry.
Between Haunted Mansion and Pirates?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I would say. Those are my must-do rides.
A Magic Kingdom for me, it would be... I love Splash Mountain, but I can't get anybody to go on it with me because they don't want to get wet. And
I'm down there when you are. I'll go on it.
You will, George?
I mean,
oh yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Splash. The only reason I didn't say Splash Mountain as my must do is because if I go in the winter, sometimes I don't do Splash.
Yeah,
it's a little chilly.
Splash Mountain for me is my number 3 after People Mover and Carousel of Progress.
Yeah, it's my favorite ride in all of Disney.
Yeah, I thought so. I just love it, and it makes me happy, and the music makes me happy, and I just love it so much. And
it's a long ride.
It is a long ride. It is a long ride. I love it. I just love it, and I love the drop at the end. I love everything about it. And my best friend that I usually end up going with, that we'll have on here, she's, that I talk about, who's the VIP tour guide. She never wants to go on it with me, so I don't want to make her wait. So anyway, I love it. I love it so much. And then at Studios, I guess it's the ride where Toy Story Mania, I'm doing the motion with the gun. You know what I'm talking, the Toy Story Mania.
Toy Story, yep.
Yeah, because I haven't been to Toy Story Land, but I heard that it's overhyped and not worth it because I want to go to, but I love that Toy Story Mania ride. Is that right? Is that what it's called?
Yep, you got it.
Yep.
It's been too long since I've been there. That's ridiculous. And then Epcot at Soarin' and Animal Kingdom, it's definitely the Flights of Passage. Oh, you guys, every time it comes up, I go nuts because I love it so much. I love it so much. And
we did Flights of Passage twice. So
you did?
Yes, we did it twice.
Yeah,
any opportunity that I could do that ride, I just go to Animal Kingdom an extra day, and I could literally just do that ride, and I'd be satisfied.
George, me too. Oh my gosh, me too. I mean, if Bob Iger needs he's married, but I could find somebody else that works for Disney that maybe needs a girlfriend that I could just get in line over and over and do Flights of Passage. I would just be so happy. Well, okay, so do you guys have anything else to add to must-dos at Disney World?
I want to give a new must-do for me, but I'm really giving this as advice to our passengers out there who have children, and also to those that may not go often, and you're only going to do your one trip every 5 years or something like that. But if you have children, you must plan at least one break day somewhere in the middle of your trip.
Amen, brother. That's so smart, Dan.
So important. And it is now, basically my wife has made me swear that that will always be a must in our trips going forward.
That's so smart. Now, Dan, does your wife like Disney as much as you do?
No, she does not.
Okay.
Not that she's a hater, but she just, she is not like us at all.
Right, I get it. Most people aren't like us. So.
Yeah, exactly. Most people are not like us.
We get it, everybody. We get it.
We know.
We know.
And it takes a lot, we always try to do a couple trips a year, so it's not, and when I say a couple trips, I mean a couple of vacations in general.
Yeah.
And one of them is Disney, and then we do other things, just so that we,
Right. That's
she,
so
but we are DVC, so she does like it enough to agree to that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And it helps that now it's 2 against 1, and soon to be 3 against 1 because Connor is just like us.
Oh,
and I'm sure William will be too.
Okay, so William, who just turned 1, is like us.
Yes.
Okay.
He's going to be nuts.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
We had his birthday party last weekend, everyone, and about 50% of his presents had some sort of Mickey Mouse on it because everyone knows I'm crazy.
Oh, they did. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great. That's great. Well,
feed it into him now.
That's right. That's right. Well, do you all have anything to add to the must-dos when you go to Disney?
Well, feeding off what Dan was saying, this is something that I would like to add as a must-do. I don't really do this every single time, but I would like to try to. And this is actually a piece of advice: is I would love to do more resort hopping. That what a lot of people don't know is, they know that the resort hotels are there and everything. They think, okay, well, if I'm not staying there, what's the point of going there?
Mhm.
But what a lot of people don't know is the theming of each hotel, what makes them so special, so unique, so different. There's different restaurants you could dine in, different shops, and just the overall theming. Like, especially like the Polynesian. I love the Polynesian resort. I love the theming. I love Trader Sam's. Like, I could just go to the Polynesian and just sit.
Yeah.
Just watch.
And don't you
people.
love the smell of the
Yeah,
Polynesian?
you love the smell. That's what I was just about to say. Walk in and just take a big old whiff.
I know.
Yeah.
I think it's the smell of mildew, but because it's a Disney World, it makes us happy.
You know, getting back to my
It's mildew with a sprinkle of magic.
Yeah, exactly.
mildew magic, or magic mildew.
Probably bottle that.
Right.
So getting back to my not wanting to go to the same restaurant twice,
Right.
that's part of the reason, George, is I want to have a reason to go to resorts too, you know. So that's one of the things I like to do is, hey, I'll pick a restaurant in a resort that I've never been to, although I've probably been to them all now. But you know, that's how it kind of started.
Yeah.
So I had a reason to go to the resort,
And that
the
definitely
hotel.
makes sense. That definitely makes sense.
It does. And then the other thing is you don't need a ticket to go to a resort.
Right.
To the resort and to dine at the hotels. I mean,
Yep.
at the restaurants at the hotels, you don't need to waste a day's ticket. You don't need any kind of admission to go to the hotels, to the
Yep.
resort hotels. So
And there's activities at these hotels. I mean, Stan
Yes.
just talked a couple episodes about how he went canoeing at what was it, Fort Wilderness, I think.
yeah.
Is that where it was? Like,
Mhm.
it's pretty cool, you
I
know,
know
like
a
these
lot of
different
people-
activities they have.
And I know a lot of people can't say this, but just speaking, you know, from my own opinion of becoming an annual pass holder, it makes me want to see the experience the hotels more, because becoming an annual pass holder, you could just come and go as you please.
Mhm.
You know, you can enter in at any time, park hop, go to different sections of the resort. You're not confined to just, you know, okay, I bought this park ticket, so in order for me to get my money's worth, I have to stay in the park.
I got to stay in the Magic Kingdom all day long. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree with all that. That's all good
Yeah.
stuff.
I do too. Well, once again, we've proven there's so much for all you haters out there, which of course there are probably no haters listening to us tonight, but but what started as what you must do, really, I mean, it's like a big wide circle of that encompasses so many, many things. Do y'all have anything to add before we go tonight?
There's probably a whole lot other traditional things that we must do, and there's probably just so many,
Right.
but those would be
Yeah.
probably my top. But
Yeah.
there's definitely a lot. There's so much to do, so much to see.
Yep. You know what? You know what, passengers? It's all about making the memories, right? And like making your own traditions.
Yep.
And it doesn't really matter what your must-dos are. It's just the point that we all have them.
Right.
And each one of them means something to us, even though, like I said, the Pizza Planet / Pizza Rizzo doesn't, it's not that good. But to me, that's just my thing that I do. And it's all right to have that.
Good, right, Dan?
Exactly.
And passengers, if you would love to see a vacation with me and Dan and really see how much of a Griswold vacation that would be, let us know.
That's funny.
One of us wouldn't come back alive.
That's so funny.
But George would come back from the park and all his stuff would be put away.
Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to tell you, Dan. So I use those cubes, those packing cubes. Do you know what I'm talking about?
You know, my last trip, I like looked them up and I was gonna pull the trigger. I don't know why I didn't, but they're useful?
They're very useful because then all I do is take the cubes out of my suitcase and I put them in a drawer. And
I love it.
The cube. You know
Oh,
what
I love it. Does it take up a lot of room in your suitcase though?
No. Everything's
It doesn't.
in the cubes in the suitcase. And this is how weird I am because I love, obviously I'm a travel agent and I love to travel. So I just leave them packed so that like if I ever get to go on a trip, I'm like, oh, I'm ready. I mean, I just like with my underwear and nightgowns,
Yeah.
not like my jeans and stuff, but I do have one packed. I mean, I do have one cube ready to go at all times so that I'm ready to go.
So I'm not that crazy, but I do have my special like Walt Disney World clothing that I only wear at Disney World. I have this.
Get out of town!
Yeah.
Really, that's awesome.
I have these shorts that I love, and I have about 4 pairs of them, the same exact shorts. And I only wear them when I'm at Disney World, and some of my Disney shirts, like my old school like Disney shirts. Those are the ones I'll wear around the parks.
Oh, that's awesome! Oh my gosh, this episode I knew it was going to branch out and go into wonderful places.
We should do a show on like packing and stuff like that.
Yes, we should. Okay, next time I'm the host, we'll do it. We're going to do a show on packing.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, hey, passengers, thanks for joining us tonight and hearing about our must-dos. We want to hear about your must-dos. And take it away, Ken.
If you would like to keep the adventure going after the show, be sure to like our Facebook friends page, Grand Circle Tour Magical Ticket Holders. While on Facebook, like our group page, Grand Circle Tour. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Grand Circle Tour Podcast, as well as Instagram, GCT Podcast, and our YouTube channel, Grand Circle Tour. If you would like to send us a message, you can email us at gctpodcast@gmail.com. T-shirts and other fun merchandise can be found at tpublic.com. Simply search Grand Circle Tour Podcast. If you enjoyed your adventure, leave us a review on Apple Podcast. Only one rule, make it good. Thank you for riding with us, and welcome home.